صباح جميعا. Welcome to the fourth video, um, third workshop. And starting off from where we left off last time, we had installed the triggers and we put a set variable node, and we changed the node, the value of the Boolean variables that we have here. Now we also placed the trigger in the teleporter. Now we need a way to compare these Boolean variables in order to know if we need to tell the teleporter whether it should teleport us or not. So first we need an event touch. Basically we select the, sorry about that, we select the trigger, right click, new event using trigger 8 touch. Okay, so when we touch the trigger, we need a way to compare things. We need a way to compare these Boolean variables. And fortunately for us, we have such a node by going into a new new condition, comparison, compare bool. As you are noticing here, we can compare ints, objects, and floats as well. Just compare a bool. When we touch, we need to see if this blob1 is true. So how do we point to that blob1 as well? As before, we put a named variable and we name it the same as our first Boolean variable, and we connect it to a bool, to the bool here. Basically, this is now compare bool is now comparing this Boolean variable, and if it's true, we're gonna do something, and if it's false, we're gonna do something else. If it's true, we're gonna compare the second Boolean variable. We're just gonna copy it another time, like that. If it's true, we're gonna compare a second Boolean variable, which is blob2, new named variable, and we point it to the bool. And if it's true, it's gonna compare a third Boolean variable. Okay, and third Boolean variable is blob3. Okay, and if all three are true, we're gonna teleport to here. Okay. Sorry, disregard that. Continue. I'm just gonna do it. Don't worry. All the extra things that you're seeing now, that you saw the Kismet nodes, you just don't worry about them. You don't have to. It won't break your progress if you don't have them. Basically, whatever we need is right here. The things that we did. So, in order to teleport, we have a teleport node, which is under the new action actor teleport last node. And basically, when it's true, when the third Boolean compare is true, we teleport. Now, we need a destination. The destination, we can right click, add actor, we can place a path node, or we can go into the content browser, actor classes, under the search for node, click on the node, right click on the ground, add node here. Basically, it's just a pointer for the teleporter to have somewhere to teleport us to, you know? It's like a beacon. I'm just rotating it because there's an arrow. It'll determine where we're facing when we teleport. So I'm just making it face straight so we don't face the wall. Don't see the wall when you teleport. Alright, the destination is the node. We click on the node, right click on destination, new object var using node 1, and the target is us, the player. And if you remember, we instantiate us by placing a player node, which can be done by pressing P and left clicking. This is the shortcut to the player node. We can also access it by right clicking, new variable, player. Right, it's the same thing. We connect the target to the players, and we should be done here. Alright, let's try it out. Let's test run this baby. Before we do that, I'm just gonna explain again. When we touch this trigger, why do we have two triggers here? Okay, I have no idea. Maybe because I placed it. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, you should have one trigger. Okay, so when we touch this trigger, which is a touch trigger event here, it's going to compare the first Boolean variable. If it's true, it's going to go to the other one. If it's true, it's going to go to the other one. If it's true, it's going to teleport us. If we took the first one, but not the second one, if you took the first blob, but not the second blob, it's going to check the first one, blob 1. True, it's going to go to the second one. If it's false, it's going to stop here. It's not going to do anything. Okay, it's not going to go to the third compare Boolean. If we didn't take the first one, and we took the other two, it's going to go to the first Boolean variable, blob 1. And it's not going to proceed to the other two because the blob 1 is false. I just had an idea. What if we... let's just test it out and I'll tell you about my idea. Alright, so we go and take the first blob, go and take the second blob. We're not going to take the third blob, just to illustrate. And it doesn't do anything. Now, if we take a third blob and go to the teleporter, it should teleport us. Ah, damn you. Why is it not teleporting me? Let's try it. Yes. Sorry, yes, because I didn't place the max trigger count to 0, so it's just gonna check one time. And we went the first time when we didn't take the third blob, and it checked once and it didn't check again because max trigger count is 1. And as you can see now, it teleported us successfully. We are now in the second puzzle. And I know that you don't have this this extra port from the last time, so I'm just gonna teleport. I'm gonna teleport to here, where you can just easily follow and build our next puzzle. Or you can just build your own. You know, there are lots of tutorials on how to create geometry and UDK. Okay. Now that we have that done, it's going to teleport us here. Now, the idea which I wanted to share with you is I want to see if something like that works. If we take a single compare Boolean node, detach it. Now, I'm just taking the trigger, touch, and I am going to copy these three named variables, which are instantiating the Boolean variables. Okay, and I'm gonna put them here. Okay, so basically, a single compare Boolean node is doing the job of these three. Instead of putting these three, I just want to see if this works. If it'll take into account these three Boolean variables, if they're all true, and act as a sort of an AND gate as well. I'm gonna take the first two, but not the third. Okay. Now, it does work. And remember, we placed the node on the high ground, so yep, it does work. Okay, so awesomeness. We can just forget about those, delete them. It's better that we have a single compare Boolean node instead of three. Okay, so now we're gonna proceed on to the next puzzle, and which involves a matinee and somewhat more complicated process of calculating things. That's my cell phone message. Okay, so should I start with it now? Yeah, might as well. Might as well just start with it now. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm having brain freeze here. Okay. Now, we need to. Let's say that we need to, in order. Mm, let's place a door. Okay. We have a door in front of us that we need to pass through, but it's locked, and we need to. Hello, you'll see. You'll see now. Basically, we go into static meshes and we find an appropriate door. Just search for door. Yeah. These are some of the doors I made for past projects. They look awful though. Yeah, I know. I suck at modeling. Okay. Yep, this one's good. Right click, add interrupt actor, since it's gonna be moving around and it's gonna be controlled by Matinee. Meaning Matinee is the animation editor that we have in UDK. So, okay, since we have the door now here, I can explain what's gonna happen now. Okay, so, sorry, I forgot about the pillars. Pillars, static mesh. Okay. This looks okay. Right click. If it's not showing up when you right click, just right click on it here and load it up. Add interrupt actor and copy it. Basically, Alt move. Okay, so I'm just gonna place them on top of each other so you know what's gonna happen now. Just enable my viewport so I can have better control. Okay. Alright. Okay. So. Sorry for the long moments of silence. I know it's frustrating when you're watching a tutorial and the guy explaining is just silent. I'm just placing the static meshes, the interpactors. Alright, so basically, when we come here, when we... Ah, damn you. Okay, just a sec. I'm just gonna disable the camera. Okay. So, when we come here, we need to click on these pillars in order to align them vertically. Once they're aligned vertically, basically we're going to do that by placing two triggers here, one here, one here. And whenever we click on the trigger, this pillar is going to rotate. Okay? And this pillar is going to rotate when you click on this trigger. And when they're aligned vertically, this door should open. Okay? So let's get around to doing that. First, let's put the triggers in their respective locations. Minimize that. Okay. Whoop. And another one. Alt drag. Now we have those two triggers. Yep. Okay. And now we're gonna set the matinee up, and I'm gonna stop this video and make a fifth one. So join me after the break.